Dear Lord, I know that we've been here before. It's been a long time, I hope that you don't slam the door. I try to walk away, but there's some shit I can't ignore. I could be wrong, but seems like you don't even care no more. Cause since our last talk, you ain't playing fair no more. And when I pray, it kinda feel like you ain't there no more. I still don't understand why niggas who deserve it die living, but the ones who ain't deserve it isn't here no more.
What's going down, world? Welcome to the 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. I go by the name Black Pegasus.
And it's your boy, Don Juan, a.k.a. Drip Daddy Don Juan.
Hey, what's up, man? Welcome back, man. Officially, the 40-year-old FUQ Boys are back. And Joyner
like
Lucas.
It's going to be serious. I mean, he's got a bottle of Hennessy, a gun, and the Bible. So,
At the very beginning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we about to get, I guess, serious on this one, ladies and gentlemen. But let's dive into it, man. This is Joyner Lucas, Devil's Work. I've never seen this before. It just dropped a few hours ago. And we're going to see what this is about. And I don't know, man. We'll see. I guess, you know, at the beginning, it already showed a picture of Breonna Taylor. Like, so this is going to be a deep one. So here we go, you guys. If you're ready to vibe with your boys, don't forget to like, share, and comment on all the content. But if you're really rocking with the vibe, subscribe to the channel and help us hit that 100,000 subscriber mark. Without further ado, we're the 40-year-old FUQ Boys.
40-year-old boys are back in town. 40. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. Malt liquor for your ears. 40.
All right, you guys, don't forget to check out the channel. We got a bunch of cool reactions, but we have some podcasts on there. We also have some original things. I have some original music, original freestyles, and we're working on bringing y'all some sketches. So keep checking out the content and showing love. But without further ado, we're going to get this started. I'm going to pull this up for y'all, and we're going to react to Joyner Lucas, Devil's Work Part 2. It says, "Not now, I'm busy." So now, he's one of these compelling. Are you familiar with Joyner Lucas? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. He's one of the illest storytellers in the game right now. Like the way he put the thing is,
I was just watching his rhyme in reverse, like part 2 again. I've watched it, multiple times, and it like literally like makes my brain like short circuit a little bit because I was sitting there and like, I feel like sometimes I could come up with some good lines and I'm creative and I've listened to a lot of music, right? But just listening to like the wordplay, like how you even do that to be able to spit a whole verse that makes sense forwards and backwards. It's just like incredible. Insane to me.
Now, I do want to say this, when you start writing things down, it's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
So I know it's not impossible. Like I just know it's very like it will take a long time and you have to be very skilled and to put it together the way he did. But like, there's a part of me that's like kind of wants to challenge myself and just do like 8 bars. Yeah, where you can go front and back. But I just know you have to start with the writing. Like, okay, let me put and I just don't know. It's so ill. Actually, I think I'm gonna go back and study how he did it, and then see what I can formulate because it just seems like a cool like puzzle to try to figure out.
Yeah, just like a mental exercise.
Yeah, that's ill. But all right, let's get into this. Again, his was way complicated too. Mine would be like probably simple, like carry the bat, carry the bat, carry the bat, the carry. You see what I'm saying? Like, anyway.
Start over.
All right, let's go. All right, this is Joyner Lucas, Devil's Work. We're probably about to get serious, so let's just see what he got. So it's a 5-minute video too, so here we go.
Guess we gotta try this again. Dear Lord, I know that we've been here before. It's been a long time, I hope that you don't slam the door. I try to walk away, but there's some shit I can't ignore. I could be wrong, but seems like you don't even care no more. Cause since our last talk, you ain't playing fair no more. And when I pray, it kinda feel like you ain't there no more. I still don't understand why niggas who deserve it dies living, but the ones who ain't deserve it isn't here no more. And no, I don't want no one else to die. Instead of trading souls, I got something else in mind. There's a lot of moments that I wish that I could change. I could fix a lot of pain if you help me out this time. Maybe we can undo all the...
Yo, So the Breonna Taylor thing went back and forth. I heard so many things, but recently I thought it came out, because you know me, I try to be moderate about that.
Yeah.
But recently I think it came out that those, like there's something going on in the precinct. Like they tried to cover something up. Because originally this is what I heard. Obvious, Breonna Taylor, innocent. They kicked in the door. It's like a drug raid. She gets caught in the crossfire of her man shooting at cops, whatever. Rest in peace, she gets killed, right? But then there was a story saying, hey, she was involved in these drug activities. People were trying to push this narrative.
I heard that.
And I've heard that narrative.
Yeah.
But then it came out recently that there was like some type of cover up.
I mean,
And
at
I'm
the end
just
of the
like,
day, just think about
yikes.
this. We traded like a gun runner, a major gun dealer in Russia for Brittany Grinder, who got arrested in Russia for smoking weed.
Yeah.
But yet we're kicking down the doors of people in America and murdering them for selling weed.
Yeah, for drug. Like, this is my thing.
And there's like levels to it,
unless
right?
you're like Pablo Escobar, like, bro, like, I don't know, man. Like, I just think
But weed of
this
all
is what
things.
bro. This is what I'm saying.
Anyways, let's not get too off on that tangent.
Yeah.
Damage, press rewind, reset the clock and make it so some niggas never die. Or maybe fix all the mistakes of those that's still alive and give them all a second try. Erase that Will Smith slap and turn them back around. Or wait till they get backstage so they can have it out. Or maybe make it so that Chris chose a different joke, a different topic, something Jada won't be mad about.
F that. F that. F that, bro. I ain't trying to hear that bullshit. Like, Chris Rock should be able to say whatever he wants as a comedian, period. And people are like, well, there's repercussions. I'm like, bro, you're a comedian.
It wasn't like, yeah.
It was a joke, bro.
And not even like a mean, like.
I'm not forgiving Will Smith for that slap,
Yeah.
bro. He was in the wrong. Well, I mean,
he said G.I. Jane. It's just like.
It's not even that bad of a joke, dude. F that.
If he would have said something like, that's why your bitch is still jocking Tupac.
Yeah.
Then it's like,
oh.
you can get these hands.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a joke, bro. I mean, I like Joyner Lucas, but he did a song called Will Smith, so I'm thinking this is why he's
They're
addressing
like,
it.
if he was like, hey, they're going to remake Ghost and Tupac with Jada, Tupac's going to come back as the ghost that she falls in love with.
Oh, snap. Like, that's the thing. They're like what he just said. We're going to play it, but I'm just telling you, bro. Chris Rock could have said, August Alsina's clapping your wife's cheeks and da-da-da.
Yeah.
He could have went ham.
Yes.
He makes a little joke about her obviously being bald. All of us clown.
And she was G.I. Jane, right?
Bro, no, I don't think. Wasn't that
no.
Demi Moore? That's
I thought
Demi Moore.
you're
He
right.
was joking like
I
G.I.
thought they
Jane
made
Part
like a
2.
remake or something.
But anyway, that's what he was saying. That was
Yeah.
the joke. She's going to be in the remake.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? I'm just saying, yo, man, F all that. But, hey, I still rock with Joyner. I'm not, I'm just saying my opinion.
That Will Smith slap and turn them back around. Or wait till they get backstage so they can have it out. Or maybe make it so that Chris chose a different joke, a different topic, something Jada won't be mad about. Matter of fact, let's talk about this shit I'm sad about. When Pop Smoke accidentally leaked that address out. Lord, you know the streets crazy, how you drive the ball. When you know niggas keep a target on these rappers now. And give us Kobe.
That's crazy. Like, he's right, man. R.I.P. Pop Smoke. It's so crazy.
I think the kids that did it, I say kids because I think it came out that they were like 14, 15 years old or something.
Yeah, I get confused because it's either those kids or the kids who did the PNB Rock.
Yeah.
I guess it was a dad and he had his son go do it. Bro, it's like wild stuff. Like, and I get these stories confused. Literally, if you get on XXL, it's like every other week, murder, jail. Like, it's so crazy about the culture, bro.
Yeah,
it
Young
F's me up.
Dolph.
It makes me really upset. He's spitting some real right here. This is real.
Shit I'm sad about. When Pop Smoke accidentally leaked that address out. Lord, you know the streets crazy, how you drive the ball. When you know niggas keep a target on these rappers now. And give us Kobe Bryant back, we a mess without him. Take back the day he ever stepped inside that helicopter. Make him take the car instead and forget the chopper. Maybe take a different route or get a different driver. Can't believe you took his daughter and she left behind him. It's kinda hard to see the positive and that's the problem. I know you don't make mistakes, but I was hoping you'll erase that bullshit so his family won't be left without him. Yeah. And I wish I could fly to Russia on a different mission and make him pay for putting Brittany Grinder in the prison. Or maybe you could bring her back to February 17th and you can take the CBD so she ain't flying with it. Or maybe change that 9 years and give her 9 minutes. Or better yet, change the laws so they can stop tripping. I know that's a lot to wish and it ain't my business. But until you grant my wish, I ain't gonna stop wishing. But Lord, listen, this shit irking me. Now how you take PMD, that shit absurd to me.
So with the Brittany Grinder stuff, this is what's crazy, right? No, I don't think anyone thinks she should have went to jail for that weed. But when you're in Russia,
what he's saying too, and what I've heard before is that it was a CBD pen, so it wasn't even weed.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think there's THC in it.
No.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you guys a story. I have a friend. I'm not going to say his name. He's a rapper. He tours all over the world. He's kind of a big deal. And he was in Russia recently, and he forgot he had a J. He went and smoked it in the bathroom just because he didn't want to get hemmed up and got away with it, got through everything just fine. So now this is before the war, though. And he was telling me the story like, yo, I didn't know it was like that, bro. I would never have that on me. So this is what happens. People forget that this is political. That wasn't a race thing, I don't think. I think that was a U.S. versus Russia thing. Yeah. Because these sanctions that they have on Russia, that we have on Russia, are crazy. When we release this video, if Joyner Lucas is on a major record label, behind in the analytics, I can see it'll say blocked in certain countries. All the major labels block these videos in Russia and Belarus, and it always says Russia. And I got a producer who makes beats. Cool kid. He's a civilian from Russia. And DistroKid, YouTube, everything cut him off. He can't make money off DistroKid. He got kicked off his royalty program, all that, because the sanctions are Russia. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. But again, it's funny you brought that up before he even rapped about it, because what he's saying, I'm like, yo, I understand what he's saying. But then because of that, fumble, if we're pro athletes, we probably shouldn't be traveling with illicit substances. But if it's not an illicit substance.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even think that.
Yeah, if it's CBD. But again, now we know.
It'd be like you being like, oh, I got some Alpha Brain in my bag. And you're like, oh.
I got vitamin C. Vitamin C's illegal now. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're American. Like, bro. And that, and I ain't gonna lie, man. I haven't seen many black folks in Russia. So it's a little,
I mean, I might accidentally
I ain't woke, but I'm just saying, hey, let's get it.
I know that's a lot to wish, and it ain't my business.
I'm not trying to talk too much, but I already am. Also, anyways, I'm not gonna talk about that. Never mind.
Wish, and it ain't my business. But until you grant my wish, I ain't gonna stop wishing. But Lord, listen, this shit irking me. Now how you take PMB, that shit absurd to me. So many questions about that shit, and it's disturbing me. That niggas can't eat waffles without security. And niggas can't work hard and go buy some jewelry. That one hurt to see. And by the end of the song, they gon' try to murder me. And if they do, I hope my fans take it personally. I know you hear me talking, Lord, don't be curving me. Won't you take us back to Kylie Jenner's party? Before them shots hit the floor, before the bullets ricochet and leave it dripping more. We don't know the truth or if we misinformed, but either way, take it back and make Tory hop inside a different car. Broke my heart when DMX died, I hit the call. Feel like that nigga was an angel in a different form. Might have had a drug problem like he did before, but he was fighting demons, and I know that that's a different war. You must got a major ego. I ain't trying to disrespect or trying to play the hero. But when you took Takeoff, you took my favorite Migos. Look, I don't know how that makes sense, cause it makes zero. The fucking wrong place, wrong time, that ain't G though. Took that man right in his prime, that's playing Evo.
I mean, he says so much stuff. I'm just sitting here recollecting and thinking and reminiscing, because the PMB joint, outrageous that happened. And he said something, how can you not work hard and get some jewelry in the state that we're in? And Top G talks about that.
It's wild. Like, he basically should have Charleston White doing the hook on this, because the way he's just like going in with all this stuff,
Dude, there's so many. I be talking about this sometimes, and it kind of hurts me seeing the culture go down this path. The other thing is, instead of taking extreme accountability and us shifting the culture, sometimes it's like we just don't take that accountability and don't change, and that's the problem.
I mean, personally, I find it horrific, because one of the things that I love about rap music in particular is it's like the underdog story. It's the person coming from nothing that rises through all of the drama to get wealth, to get fame, to do that and get the good life, right? Now I don't have to stress. My kids are taken care of. Life is great. And all the flashiness and all that's a part of that. That's like fun, because it's like when you come from nothing, it's fun to celebrate now that you have something. Yeah. But then it's just so tragic to see these deaths, because it's like
someone with nothing will take it away.
You made it out, but then you didn't make it out because this type of stuff.
Well, the other thing is, like, are you supposed to leave? I'm gonna guess he's gonna talk about Nipsey. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe in Devil Works 1 if he did, because I didn't see the first Devil's Work. But I'm over here just tripping.
I mean, like, think about, like, didn't young Dolph get killed trying to get some cookies for his mom?
Yeah,
like,
but this is what I'm saying. You said you made it out, but you didn't make it out. But they stayed. Like for example, like when cats bounce for real, they're not in the hood. Typically, they're all dying in their neighborhoods. Nipsey, PMB was in LA. You know what I'm saying? Like the things aren't happening in the suburbs. This is not happening in Maui. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not what it is. So it's messed up, bro. It really is. It's really tragic and sad, bro. It F's with me. And it's like, it's effed up to say, like, when you get yours, like, I don't want to speak, you know, hopefully I don't want people to take what I'm saying out of context, but the thing with Nipsey really hurt me. It hurt my soul because he was in the hood rebuilding his community, putting businesses in there, and checking up on his business.
Yeah. Doing what, you know, I hesitate to say like what you're supposed to do, but the model is like, right, like I want to go give back and rebuild the community that's had so much taken come from or doesn't have opportunities and reinvest in it to give other people the opportunity to rise up.
And when Tiny Luster died, I cried and played CeeLo, cause I can't even watch Friday without saying Devo. You know this shit got me stressed, right? Staring at the Bible, trying to figure out who's next. Like, why you take the ones who ain't deserve it, see what death like? Meanwhile, 6ix9ine free, living his best life. Go back to the day that he took the stand and confessed, right? Tape his mouth shut so he never talked to the feds. Like, make him do his time so his niggas gotta do less, right? Make him learn from Bobby so he can know what respect like. Lord, forgive me for my language and these bad words, but that Candace Owens bitch get on my last nerve.
Yo, he's going hard. Dang, he dissed Candace. Oh, Lord. Lord of mercy. Okay, here we go, man. I mean, what he's saying about 6ix9ine, it's funny because I hear 6ix9ine's interviews, and he paints a picture. It's like, it's so interesting. My goodness. The culture is wild, bro.
Like he was a victim. They weren't really his boys. They were backstabbing him. Yeah. But you know, the thing is, it's like he wanted to be a gangster. He wanted to have that clout and be in that lifestyle and roll with those type of individuals. But then when the consequences come down, now he wants to just skirt out of it.
And you know me, like I'm like, I've always been like, oh, loyalty, no snitching. But one thing that when 6ix9ine said this, I was like, dang, he's like, y'all want me to follow a code that you're not following.
That makes sense to a degree. I mean, I can kind of understand that. I mean, I've been put in certain predicaments, you know?
Yeah.
I got arrested for selling drugs. And when I was in jail, somebody that I thought was my homie broke into my house because they knew that I was in jail and were like, oh, no one's going to be there. So I'm going to go ransack his house and steal all his money and all his shit.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be like the homie. So in my mind, there was a part of me that's like, yo, why don't that dude's doing dirt.
Yeah.
You know, I could, but I didn't.
Yeah.
It's just because it's like, for me, there's a certain,
I feel like, as
level of self-respect,
and you start
associated with it.
Yeah, man. I struggle because everything he said there cut deep. I'm talking about Joyner. I was like, yo, he got a point.
Yeah.
Because Bobby Schmurder went and did his time.
Yeah, and look at him. He came out and he's like, you know, he's the man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it is interesting when you see this. Oh, but you know what? When I heard, so I've heard both sides. I've heard 6ix9ine side, and I've heard like what Joyner's people type of say, right? I was watching this interview with Michael Cox. Okay, I believe that's his name. He's the biggest.
Yeah,
he's the.
I was telling you about it. Was it on the Concrete podcast?
No, so I've heard of him, but I went back and watched a new episode.
He's like this dude who did mortgage fraud. Like
he's the biggest
like 36
fraudster.
million.
He's the biggest fraudster in history. And in this interview I saw, because he has multiple interviews out.
Yeah.
He said that 80% of people turn. 80%. So he's like, there's this 20% of people who are following the code, not snitching. Everyone else is snitching. Everybody, he said. And I was like, damn. But it's like, yo, at the same time,
but then again,
I'm one of the people, the 20% are the samurai. They're like, yo, well, I have honor. This is what I stick with. And there's something to that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's wild. That shit is really wild. People say they talk a lot, but when certain things go down, would they really hold up the code? And most people don't. That's all they're saying. And look, man, God's going to be the judge at the end of the day. But let's get into this because Man, sounds like someone's about to diss the black woman.
Time, so his niggas gotta do less, right? Make him learn from Bobby so he can know what respect like.
Lord, forgive me for my language and these bad words. But that Candace Owens bitch get on my last nerve. How you gonna tell me that what we witnessed on TV was a murder when we watch niggas turn his ass into Casper? George died from asphyxiation and that's a factor. Fentanyl or not, he'd have never died in his last words. Well, I cannot breathe, so really she gotta chill. Or maybe they should trade places so she can see how I feel.
So, you know, I'm going to keep it real. I wasn't rocking with the way Candace came out with the George Floyd stuff. Like, remember we did the whole rant on it?
Yeah.
But once you saw some of the deleted scenes, some of the things that weren't shown, I understand why she wanted to present these things. But because, I don't know, man, because like, look, man, the cop was in the wrong. The cop, I mean, from everything I've seen, like, it's not in protocol to be on someone's, you know, so some people like his shoulder, but the neck, whatever, for as long as he was. And this is my thing. When someone's saying they can't breathe, you got to assess it. He was in handcuffs, right? Wasn't he in handcuffs? And they were standing on him? It's just the dude was doing mad excessive. The cop was in the wrong, period. The cop was in the wrong, you know, doing all the background and all that on George Floyd. I just felt like in that moment wasn't necessary. But it's like weird because then Candace went as far to actually expose BLM for being an organization that is not legitimate. And their whole uprising did come from the George Floyd thing. So I struggle with all this because, like I said, I try to be in the middle. Like, I'm not brain damaged anymore and not trapped in the emotional triggers the world tries to put on me from words, from race, from certain things. I had to break those emotional triggers to become a stronger man. That was a chink in my armor. When I hear certain things, when I see certain things and I get emotional, that made me weaker as a man. I had to eliminate those things to become stronger. So now I see things a little bit different. But I was upset you remember we did that was our first podcast, bro. We went on a rant because that long thing Candace Owens came out and said. However, like, Candace Owens woke me up to a lot of crazy stuff that's going on. Straight up. So that's what I struggle with because this emotional trigger, she did something wrong. Let's say she was wrong in that moment.
Yeah.
But are we going to let that emotional trigger block us from when she drops truth bombs? Because she does drop a lot, especially during 2020. Now, I get it. No one's going to want to hear that. They're going to be like, oh, sell out, Uncle Tom. Like, I get it. I already know what they say, blah, blah. But I'm not saying like I said, I was like, dude, like when I heard what she was saying, I was like, bro, she's kind of tripping, you know? But I don't know. You got anything to say about that, white man?
No comment.
All right, yo. I shouldn't even be laughing. That's a deep one. But I understand. I mean, right now, I feel like he's just taking after what Dave Chappelle said. You remember when Dave Chappelle said the stuff about Candace in that stand-up joint he did right after George Floyd?
No. I mean, was that the one he did outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not coming to the forefront.
It's because it wasn't really funny. It was more like a rant. But it's the same thing. But anyways, yeah, man. This one, I mean, I know what he's saying. I'm just, dude, I can't lie, man. I can't lie, bro. 2020, I woke up, and my thing is, I went and started watching a lot of the extra footage. And I don't know what was going on with George Floyd, but he couldn't even breathe sitting down in the car. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot there. I'm not going to...
I mean, I guess the thing that with a lot of these events that comes through for me is not necessarily what's, you know, even right or wrong or where the truth lies, but how, you know, certain individuals are weaponizing them to cause separation between us. And that's the biggest thing about those, like you said, the emotional triggers. It's like, of course you're going to have a reaction to something, but I feel like there's certain agencies that are capitalizing on that, then weaponizing and throwing gasoline on the fire to create this division so that, you know, they get people out to the voting booths or whatever. And that's the part that's like disgusting to me, is to take a tragedy and then use it for your political advantage.
And let me say this just to be
not that there aren't people who legitimately believe in these causes, but I feel like there's been a lot of throwing gasoline on the fire.
Let me say this to be real, too. When you think about the whole George Floyd situation, just anyone with human decency once he was handcuffed, just sit him up on the curb. You had 4 other cops with you, 5 other cops.
Yeah, what's he going to do?
It's like, bro, I know, and he's a big brother. I get it. Maybe you're a little intimidated.
But there's 4 people and he's in
This
cuffs.
is what I'm not giving him a pass, bro.
No, I'm not
I actually
either.
want to take a step back and make sure people know
Where
that I'm not saying it was okay what happened by any means. Bro,
Yeah.
the cop was in the wrong in that one. And if you disagree, well, that's on you. Like, look, and I'm one of the people who aren't like all woke about it and triggered about certain things. But I'm like, yo, the real thing is, dude couldn't breathe. He was in cuffs. Sit him up on the curb and be like, hey, the medic's coming or the whatever. I don't know the protocol. I'm not a cop. But there's 5 other cops with you. And the other thing is people are man, it's anyways, dang. That threw off the whole reaction.
I was going to, man, you're going in deep.
That's crazy.
Asphyxiation, and that's a factor. Fentanyl or not, he'd have never died in his last words. While I cannot breathe, so really
We don't know, I don't think, but
gotta chill, or maybe they should trade places so she can see how I feel. Little bitch got me stressed, God. Probably not prepared for what I'm asking next, God. Bring Ye mama back, cause he a mess, God. And he ain't been the same ever since Donda West died. Yeah, that's the day Kanye West died. First his heart, then his mind, then the rest died. And if your bank account is overkill, your soul could be broken still. Even the rich spirit money can't buy.
this is my thing, man, because y'all know I'm a fan of Kanye. Now, what he said on Alex Jones was out of pocket. It was wild. But sometimes, he's like, that's when Kanye West died. But maybe that's when he was rebirthed. Like, people are so quick to be like, I'm right. I just, like, Kanye West was a genius to you a year ago, 2 years ago. Now he's not, because he doesn't follow the narratives that you follow. And I think you got to give people time. They do make mistakes. They make mistakes. Maybe maybe he's made a few mistakes, but that's the emotional trigger I'm talking about, blinding people, because I'm not saying he's blind. I'm just saying he might not be seeing. We don't know yet. Kanye's West story hasn't been fully written yet.
No.
Now, I would go on public platform and be like, if something happened to Ye, let's say he did something to himself personally, it happened to him, then I'd be like, yo, he was right. Look, he called it. But
I think the illest thing he said there was just he was talking about his money and just saying that, like, even you can have all that money and still, it'll fuck with you. Like, it doesn't matter how much.
That's facts.
That to me was like what stood out as the line. It's
money
just
won't
like,
make you happy or fulfill you.
Yeah, and just like you can have all of that, money in the bank, and it doesn't matter if a loved one dies.
Yep, this is facts.
Fentanyl or not, he'd have never died in his last words. While I cannot breathe, so really she gotta chill, or maybe they should trade places so she can see how I feel. Little bitch got me stressed, God. Probably not prepared for what I'm asking next, God. Bring Ye mama back, cause he a mess, God. And he ain't been the same ever since Donda West died. Yeah, that's the day Kanye West died. First his heart, then his mind, then the rest died. And if your bank account is overkill, your soul could be broken still. Even the rich spirit money can't buy.
I want to address this. This is kind of a tough subject because I'm a big fan of Ye. But the other thing that I think, when I say he's been rebirthed, like, let's just remember why his mother passed away. I'm pretty sure it was during a surgery, breast augmentation.
That's what I thought.
And if you see the fight right now that he's fighting to save his daughters from becoming like what?
Well, I mean, it's truth, right? It's like, his wife and all the sisters have had massive amounts of surgery to change, the way that they look to create, this new, perfect beauty standard. And he lost his mother to, which is essentially, if you really break it down, right? It's vanity. It's a vanity thing that you're doing. It's out of vanity to want to look better, and to lose your mother to that. And especially for him being somebody who, religion is a huge part of his life. Like, how could that not mess you up on a deep level and make you question, like, yo, what have I been saying? What's the content that I'm putting out? What is the messaging that I'm doing? How am I living my life? Because a person that I love the most died, to get one of these surgeries.
The other thing is, people are so quick to call him certain things and out of his name. And it's like, we want to call Candace out for saying these things, right? Or doing these things, but can't call out these pharmaceutical pimps who are trying to keep Kanye under the influence of these things to keep control. You know what I'm saying? There's so much, it's so much deeper than just what, you know what I mean?
And
like,
it is tough too, because, you know,
he hugs Trump and
he,
everyone's just like, he's the bad guy now.
Yeah. And it is a strange balance, because I've done a lot of, deep dives on different medications and how they affect you, and, a consistent thing. I've known people who have been on these depression drugs basically, and they've said like, yeah, it made me feel like a zombie. Like it took away the bad feelings, but the depression feelings, but then I didn't have any high feelings either. I was just going through life like this. And so it's a struggle, because it's like, maybe that does help keep his, mood swings in control, but then he doesn't get those creative, bursts that made him who he is. And it's like, that's a tough call. People are like, you need to get back on your meds. But if you're sitting there like, I don't feel like me, like, sure, I'm not, going down these crazy avenues, but I'm also not going on these amazing creative avenues either.
Yeah.
I pray the heavens watch me. Rest in peace, Biz Marquis, you got peace. Young Dolph, King Von, Drake in your top 3. Black Rob, Trouble, Virgil, and Shock G. Pat Stay, K Slay, and Fred the God G. Almost took Lil TJ, but I'm happy he got Lee. Lord, you even took Black Panther, that's not G. And when Sidda Musabala got shot, that shot me. Begging for your guidance on this ghetto earth. Frustrated, trying to understand how heaven works. I'm just hoping you can pull a couple strings and redo a couple things, so maybe we can get a second turn. You took juice from us that forever hurts, but putting the blame on you, that'll never work. I know this ain't your fault, it's the devil's work. Devil's work.
The only person he forgot was my man Coolio. Shock G, man. I have a little history of Shock G too, Torrent. Dang, man. This was dope, though. Yeah. And I agreed with probably 90% of it. And even with what I might disagree on, like, I still agreed with the premise. Like, the George Floyd stuff, dude, the cop deserves to go to jail. He was in the wrong, period.
I mean, even the Chris Rock thing, I think the underlying message is, it's like, he's looking at the situation and says it sucks.
Yeah. That
these two people who are iconic have this, event happen, and then there's this like rift. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's the underlying thing that I take from it, is that even though, you may say, no, fuck that, at the same time, I think what he's getting at, or at least what I'm taking from it, is just like, it sucks that situation played out, and now you have these two icons, in this drama situation.
Yeah, I just struggle. It's just so crazy seeing Will Smith out of everyone pull up. Like, you just don't look at Will Smith like that. It's like Denzel, bro. There's certain people at that echelon where you just don't imagine them going that route. And you're just like, man, that hurts. So, and that's, yeah, man. Anyways, this was dope, thought-provoking. I see why because Chef B was like, I wonder your take on this. And this turned into a damn podcast.
A dissertation, the Black Pegasus, social commentary.
Then a reaction. But, yo, man, these are good for conversations. I appreciate Joyner Lucas he's a top-tier lyricist at the highest tier. This is amazing storytelling. And RIP to everyone who passed, because that's some realness. And, again, like, I feel weird because I feel weird, man, because you get thrown in this box whenever you stand up for Candace Owens or Ye. But, like, when you really go down the rabbit hole and see what they're trying to present, it's not like, it's like, what do they say? Throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of good you can get from these people and gems. I don't agree with everything. I can't lie, but wait, after 2020 changed me, man. Yo, all y'all out there, 2020 changed me. I would probably wrote this song. You know what I'm saying? Word for word, like Joyner Lucas, if 2020 wouldn't have happened. I woke up from the Matrix. These things things aren't what they seem. I'll just leave it at that, because your boy has strikes on YouTube. You know how that goes. Probation, baby. Anyways, love you, Joyner Lucas, man. That was dope. Hey, man, that's the one thing I have learned from 2020, and you know this as of recent. I've had to detach from a lot of the culture war stuff and just put out good energy. Like, when I see people being successful, I go extra hard to congratulate them and try to feel that energy of success so I can help duplicate that in my life. I don't want to get in these divisive, crazy connotations. I even now I'm trying to dodge divisive content and stuff on my channel because, look, I got a family to raise. I got this money to get, and me being in this dark place of emotion and da-da-da-da, it's just not going to serve me. And as a man, I got to make things happen for my family. So, man, I really enjoyed this and how it sparked some conversations we haven't had for a while. And I think a lot of that's relevant. And yeah, man, good. Big up to Joyner Lucas, man. Dude, he's one of the GOATs, bro. Like some of the visuals and lyrics he's put together. I forgot what video it was, but I mean, this dude was like, I was like literally just stunned and in awe and just silent with like a few of his music videos. You know what I'm saying? Remember the one where he was like the white dude and the black dude, just like rapping back and forth?
I don't think I've seen that one.
It was crazy. And then there's a dude, he's ahead of his time with his storytelling, and I rock with it, man. So shout out to Joyner Lucas. You guys, let us know some of the topics we talked about might be controversial, might not. Let us know what you thought in the comments. And yeah, anything you got to say?
No, that's it. I think you've said enough for both of us, sir.
I think so too. On that note, you guys, we riding off into the sunset. 40.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ boy.